The rain hammered against the windows of my small apartment in Seattle, each drop a painful reminder of the storm raging inside me. Osmond, a 43-year-old architect, had always prided myself on my ability to design structures that were both beautiful and strong, foundations that could withstand any pressure. But my own foundation, my marriage to Letitia, had crumbled into dust. It had started subtly with Letitia, a vibrant social worker, working later hours at the clinic. Just extra cases, Osmond, she'd say, her smile a little too bright, her eyes avoiding mine. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. After 10 years together, a lifetime, I thought we had built something unbreakable, but doubt, like a persistent weed, had begun to sprout in my mind. One evening, I decided to surprise Letitia at her work. I brought her favorite lavender tea from that little shop downtown, thinking it would be a nice gesture. The clinic was eerily quiet when I arrived. The receptionist, a young woman named Brenda, looked surprised to see me. Letitia, she had to leave early, Brenda stammered, her eyes darting nervously around the room. She said she had a family emergency. A family emergency? That didn't make sense. Letitia would have told me. My unease deepened. Do you know where she went? I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. Brenda hesitated for a moment, then whispered, I think she went to see Dr. Fawcett. He said he needed her help with something. Dr. Fawcett, Letitia's boss, a slick, handsome man with a reputation for being a little too friendly with his staff. A chill ran down my spine. I thanked Brenda and left, the lavender tea suddenly tasting like ash in my mouth. I drove home, my mind racing. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a legitimate emergency. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But the seed of doubt had been planted, and it was growing rapidly. That night Letitia came home late, her excuse flimsy, her eyes still avoiding mine. I couldn't bring myself to confront her. Not yet. I needed proof. So I waited, I watched. I became a shadow in my own home. The opportunity came a week later. Letitia had left her laptop open on the kitchen counter. I knew it was wrong, a violation of her privacy, but I couldn't stop myself. I told myself it was for the sake of our marriage. I told myself I needed to know the truth. With trembling hands, I opened her email. The first email was innocuous enough, a reminder about a staff meeting, but then I saw it. An email from Dr. Fawcett, subject line, tonight. My heart pounded in my chest as I clicked on it. The words swam before my eyes. Letitia, I can't wait to see you tonight. I've been thinking about you all day. Meet me at the usual place. 8 p.m. XOXO Graham. His name was Graham. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. My breath caught in my throat. I felt a pain so sharp, so intense, it was like a physical blow. I read the email again and again, each word a fresh wound. It was true. She was having an affair with her boss. I closed the laptop, my hands shaking uncontrollably. I stumbled into the living room, collapsing onto the sofa. The rain outside intensified, mirroring the storm inside me. How could she do this? How could she betray me like this? Had our entire marriage been a lie? Letitia came home around 10 p.m., her face flushed, her eyes bright. She saw me sitting in the dark and frowned. Osmond, what are you doing up? You look terrible. I stared at her, my eyes filled with a pain she couldn't possibly understand. I wanted to scream, to yell, to accuse her of everything, but I couldn't find my voice. The words were trapped in my throat, choked by betrayal. I know I finally managed to whisper, my voice hoarse. I know about Graham. Her face paled. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The guilt was written all over her face. Osmond, I can explain, she stammered, her eyes pleading. There's nothing to explain, I said, my voice flat. It's over. The next few weeks were a blur of anger, sadness, and paperwork. I moved out of our apartment and into a small, sterile place downtown. I couldn't bear to be in the same space where we had built our life together, where she had so callously destroyed everything. I filed for divorce. Letitia didn't fight it. She knew she was guilty, but the divorce wasn't enough. I needed to understand. I needed to know why she had done this to me. I started digging. I talked to her colleagues at the clinic. I spoke to people who knew Graham, and what I discovered was even more shocking than the affair itself. Graham Fawcett was a predator. He had a history of sleeping with his employees, of using his position of power to manipulate and exploit vulnerable women. He was a serial cheater, a master manipulator, and Letitia had fallen for his lies. I learned that Graham had been promising Letitia a promotion, dangling the carrot of career advancement in front of her. He had flattered her, told her she was special, that she deserved more than what she had. He had preyed on her insecurities, her ambition, and she had succumbed. I also discovered that Graham was embezzling money from the clinic, using it to fund his lavish lifestyle, to pay for his expensive cars and his luxury vacations. Letitia was unknowingly involved in his scheme. He had used her access to patient records to falsify documents, to cover up his tracks. Armed with this information, I went to the police. I told them everything I knew about Graham's embezzlement scheme. They launched an investigation. It didn't take long for them to uncover the truth. Graham was arrested and charged with multiple felonies. Letitia was devastated. She had lost her job, her reputation, and her lover. She was facing possible charges for her involvement in Graham's scheme. She came to me begging for forgiveness. "Osmond, I am so sorry," she sobbed, her face streaked with tears. "I didn't know what I was doing. He manipulated me. He used me." I looked at her, my heart aching with a mixture of pity and disgust. I wanted to forgive her. I wanted to believe that she was truly sorry. But I couldn't. The trust was gone. The love was gone. All that was left was a hollow shell of what we once had. "I can't forgive you, Letitia," I said, my voice cold. "You destroyed everything we had. You made your choices, and now you have to live with the consequences." Graham was eventually convicted and sentenced to several years in prison. Letitia managed to avoid jail time, but her career was ruined. She moved away from Seattle, seeking a fresh start, a chance to rebuild her life. I never saw her again. As for me, I focused on my work, pouring my energy into my designs. I found solace in the clean lines and the solid structures, in the beauty and the strength that I could create. I learned a valuable lesson about trust, about betrayal, and about the importance of choosing the right foundation for your life. The rain still falls in Seattle, but now, when I hear it, I no longer feel the same pain. The storm inside me has passed, and I am finally free.